So hello everyone. This is our playlist Learn SQL with me, and we have completed the 8 videos in that playlist. We are in the episode 1, and in the episode 8 we are getting the good response. And this is our sheet, this is our main source from where we are solving or tackling all the problems. So till now we have solved the 3 problems from the basic joins, and today we are going to solve the next one. uh, okay, so today we will solve the average time for process per machine, right? Okay, so before going to the question, we have to see the input and output. This is the very basic method, or a trick I can say. So from this we can get a more idea, then we can read a duplication. So this is the input where we are having a machine ID, process ID, activity type and timestamp. So basically in this question we have a machine, we have one process, means a machine is processing something. It has an activity type which is a start and end, and it gives the timestamp, means when it start and when it end. Okay, clear? Here I have some, I have make some notes to solve this. Okay, now see the question. We have columns: machine ID, process ID, activity type, timestamp. Types: int, enum and float. Enum basically is there are only two values, which is a start and end. Okay, enum is nothing. Enum, whenever we have to use a enum, means if we have a set of values which are the fixed. For example, we have 7 days in the weekdays, right? So 7 days, 30 days in a month, or we can say there are only yes or no values, or any 7 colors in the rainbow, like that. Okay, so this table shows the user activities for the factory website. Machine ID, process ID, activity type is a primary key. Okay, means these three things are the primary key, which is the combination of the columns, right? So machine ID is the ID of machine, process ID is the ID of the process running on the machine, right? And activity type is a enum, like it has only start and end values. And timestamp means when it start and when it end. Yeah, so I covered that thing. And there is a factory website that has a several machine, each running the same number of process. Write a solution to find the average time for the each machine takes to complete a process. So the time to complete a process is a end timestamp minus the start timestamp. Means basically we have to give a output as a machine ID, and then we have to give an average, means give an average of the end minus starting time of the each process. Okay, we will read this again. The time to complete a process is the end timestamp minus the start timestamp, and the average time is calculated by the total time to complete every process on the same machine. Okay, so each machine have multiple processes, and each process have the different timestamp, right? Because each machine cannot run the multiple things at the same time. So each machine have this like several processes, and each process have its own start and end time. So we have to calculate the each process end time minus start time for each process, and then we have to give the average of that. So this is we want in this solution. Yeah, so here what I written here. So firstly we will need to use join here, because it is considered under the basic joins, so that's why it's very pretty simple. And second, we have to apply a join the table with the itself on the basis of a machine ID. Basically correction is we have to join on the basis of machine ID, process ID, and the activity type, which should be in opposite. Why I'm saying opposite? Because we want, yeah, see, basically we need an extra column, like we will have all start and end timing under the same row. Means we want the start and end timing of each process in the same row, right? So that's why we are like joining the tables here. So once we will get the start and end time on the same row, then we can use directly group by here, means we can directly calculate the average of average here. Okay, so let's try to run here. Basically we want select a dot machine id, then we want the average of a dot timestamp minus b dot timestamp. Okay, so basically a is the end time, means basically a is the row where we want the like end time, and b is from the start time. Just assume that one, because on this thing we are getting the like we are adding a condition in the join. Okay, so as a we have to give an alias is a processing time from which is the table name activity, right? So table name is activity A, join activity B, and on. Now we have to write the condition. So what I told earlier in the second point, we have to apply join on machine id, process id, and the activity type, which should be in opposite. Like one should be the start one and another one is the end time, right? So let's write here on a dot machine id equals to b dot machine id, and a dot process id equals to b dot process id. And now there are two conditions, which is a dot activity type. Now we have to see a dot activity type. Okay, and what the question says is we have to calculate the end minus start time, and here what we done, a dot timestamp minus b dot timestamp, right? So means first one is the end timestamp, so we have to check a dot timestamp equals to end, and b dot timestamp equals to start timestamp, not timestamp, activity type. Cool. Huh. We have written all things. Maybe a dot machine id, we are finding the machine id, we are getting the machine id with the processing time, and we have calculated the machine, we have calculated the processing time for the each machine as a processing time, and we also have calculated the activity, and we have joined to activity b, and we also have covered the all the conditions which is necessary and mentioned in the question, where we join on the machine id, process id, and the activity types. That is also good. Yeah, and we have to group by machine id, because we want this average calculation for each group only. We don't have to calculate for the second one. See, this is the explanation. There are the three machines running the two processes each. Machine 0 running the two process, machine 1 running two process, machine 2 running two process. If we haven't add this group by, then this will go to all the processes, means the 6 process it will calculate and give the average. So we have added the group by, so it will group by only the machine IDs, means it will consider only the two process at a time. Yeah, and what we can do more. Yeah, one thing we have forgotten. If you can say, like you can see, the type of the timestamp is a float. Okay, so okay, I will show you directly output. then you will understand more clearly. See, so this is the processing time, and it contains a lot of numbers after the point. So basically in the output we want at max 3 numbers, right? So we can use a round here, round, and in the second parameter we have to give the number, like how many numbers we want after the dot. Yeah, so let's run this. Yep, it's accepted. Let's submit. Yeah, done. You can read this again, see these points. I will like give a conclusion basically. So what we done here, we just getting the average of, see, yeah, firstly we are getting the average of the end time versus start time, right? And we are joining on the basis of the first tables, means basically just assume there are two tables A and B. Okay, so from the first table we are joining on the machine ID of this with the second table row, and with this join we are getting the start and end time in the same row. Okay, so that's why we have added the A dot activity type end and B dot activity type start. Yeah, so if you are able to understand, please do comment. If not, then watch this video again, go through the question, try to solve this question, and like solve related question as well, then you will get more clarity on the basic joins. Yeah, keep learning, keep exploring. Thank you.